Diazbifle's coming in 26th, Swagg in 28th. What are we talking about? We got to make a move, and we got to make a move now, Tiff. There's only one map to go.
These are some big names that might be fighting it out in the last chance qualifier next week. But until then, there's one game on the line to give it your all. Smixy was in second place heading into map number 5, finding themselves in 9th. And that just goes to show you how much of a shakeup that can happen. Points that are differentiating these teams, they can be made up in just a banger of a game. As our plane line goes over, Observatory, TBE, checking in with them. I love the way they separate out to go ahead and get some good loot. Your current first place team, 111 points, sitting on triple digits. The only team to do so, might I add.
A great shout, Tiff. We talked about it yesterday. I think it's worth re-bringing back up. The 6th map is chaos. Teams go crazy in order to try to claw their way into the top 15 or claw their way into the money to walk away with some cash. There's $150,000 on the line, but map 6, teams are going to do some weird and wacky stuff, and oftentimes, as Scumman's finding a couple on Rational, Anthony, and Kind as well, they should win this gunfight. Oftentimes, this map is what will really mess up some of the top teams, because some of the other teams, they're not going to play traditionally good Warzone. They're going to get weird, and it's going to be tough to battle back.
Cole getting weird, gonna get dropped. Rituals trying to keep it alive. Scummin on your screen. Unrational has that PDSW in hand, trying to find a cheeky angle. But look, they've waited for reinforcements. Boom Kid shows up. Unrational getting dropped. Not the start that you wanted, especially when you are currently sitting in 26th place. It's like, what went wrong there? I don't know, man. Cole's shots towards this squad were looking really strong, and now they're in a little bit of a scuffle, and they've got to move.
Tiff, I can only imagine. I saw some chatter about how DBZ was arguing, how Unrational, Scummin, and Huskerrs were arguing, Swagg was arguing. This is what happens when things aren't going your way and the chemistry starts breaking down. You have to mentally check in with each other and say, hey, we are the best. We can do this. Foreign Jace gets dropped as well. Every team battling for position. Every team has a chance to make it to London. Danjo said it best. I think top 30, top 26 all have a spot at the top 15. These margins are so razor thin.
The issue is it's passion, right? You're exuding passion. You want to win. The competitive nature is coming out, and you can critique any little thing about your teammates, but it's for the teams that have been there since the beginning. The long-standing duo, Hisoka, Skullface, bringing back in Mayapo for stage 2, finding themselves inside the top 3 before map number 6. Could they go big here and unseat TBE? That would be absolutely insane. We get a good look at the zone. And man, if I'm looking at this, I think Marshlands is going to end up being a key, depending on how this pulls for rotations. You can already see there's 4 squads there duking it out for the early game.
Yeah, I saw Aiden's team around Marshlands. You saw Tommy's team up in Village, or Tariq all by themselves at the top of the map. So they're hanging out, taking it nice and patient in this last map when they've got a little bit of a buffer for a win. DBZ's team certainly not taking it patient. They want eliminations, and they want them now. Trying to push Watch Waldo, squad 18. One of the more underrated squads in the game, did well in World Series of Warzone last year, battled to about 18th this year. Patience is key. Patience is a virtue for a reason, Tiff. They've got to take this patiently. Who's going to take the first jump? Ooh, C4. Down goes a lot of plates.
Not good if your team Colony 2K currently sitting in 34th place. Gonna have a banger of a match here in map number 6. Rated on your left. Skullface, Hisoka, Mayapo on the right. But look how spread out Adrian and co are here as they make their way towards Al Sharim Pass.
Team Aydan is only about 14 points behind TBE. So we talked about them. They're on your screen here to the left-hand side. Talked about how dynamic of a game they had in map 5 that put them within striking distance for first place. Certainly possible. 14-point gap. Definitely doable, but you got to make sure TBE doesn't have a banger of a map, or otherwise you're gonna have to outscore them by 14 for like a 34 over a 20 or something like that. But this is one of your other teams. Wow, rated laces with Adrian to help out, or I don't know. Actually, no way. I think somebody else got that elimination. Didn't go to rated, and his team's not in a position to make those shots. I don't know what happened, but down goes one from Skullface's squad.
I think it went to Adrian. I think they were both shooting. I don't know what angle Adrian had, but now it's giving the opening for Rated to start climbing up towards that high ground. I doubt Mayapo and Soka are going to try to hit the redeployed drone and make a move. Mayapo has that ultimate high ground, but the gunny on Raiden and Adrian is kind of disgusting. I mean, Adrian alone sitting on 27 eliminations prior to this. Your current kill leader is Hisoka with 30.
That's right. It's going to be a tough fight, but they do have player advantage, like you called. You've got high ground. This is a battle between second and third place. This is a crucial linchpin fight for a lion's share of the cash here, Tiff.
Oh.
If Raiden can catch an angle and knock Mayapo, they can really push this high ground. He's actually at least providing a bit of a distraction. Adrian's going to be making a move inside this building, potentially with Deddy. Outside has an angle. Parachute's going to give him away, but Mayapo can't really take a look. Soka tried to hold the off angle and try to provide some cover.
All right, let's see how this is gonna go. I'm sitting here like biting my lips. Like, just how is this going to go? Mayapo looking for a heady.
There it is.
Pushing the issue. Adrian gonna be fooled. Skullface back in the mix. Definitely needed now the numbers advantage in favor of Team Hisoka. Aydan and Rated last alive in the building, shuffling around next to them.
They're out.
Question is, what are they going to do? Yeah, we see the parachutes getting pulled. They're rotating out. They know they're at a disadvantage, and this team is here to play. Now, let's talk about some of the things that we have when our teams are making engagements, especially in the early game. It usually happens when you see kill race style and not necessarily customs, but you have to gauge the level of skill of the team that you're engaged against, right? You have two powerhouses going at it, and once you over peak, or even if you slightly peak, if you get taken down to 1 HP, similar to what we saw with Rated, you can already say, all right, man, this team's twisted.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they quickly knew who it was, they had player advantage, they were going to try. They lose one, it's not worth it, especially because it took so long to take that fight and still lose. Now they're down in numbers. Let's get out of there. We can all eat in this lobby. Let's go eat somewhere else. We are the top of the food chain right now, fighting each other. I'm just going to go eat some of the bottom of the food chain lobby players that maybe I feel more comfortable taking those fights, especially in a more advantageous position for us. So we'll swing over. We'll see Jacko, Little J trying to fight back here against TBE. This is a fairly even 3v3 as well in terms of positioning. Almond playing a little bit of anchor, swinging around from the side. Sorry, Noob's playing anchor, Almond playing entry man, trying to find some sort of an angle. Doesn't have it yet, but they'll patiently try to take this fight.
Big game, big fight for TBE, but even bigger stakes on the line for Team Shero. They're currently in 14th place overall, and you know that mere 0.8 separating them, or no, just only 2.8 for the next team, 2 points separating them outside the top 15. That's a really scary position to be in this early on.
DBZ finding a couple eliminations in the feed. Aydan did get dropped by Nico. A much needed elimination for Nico. Not sure it's going to matter for them. They've had a really tough tournament today. They said they were feeling uncomfortable, but things aren't going their direction, and Adrian catches Nico completely unaware. Free elimination. Adrian hardly loses a plate.
Rotations coming in. Tommy able to get to high ground, overlooking to see where Team Shero has gone. Well, you can see they're rotating out on the left. Dongi, Nofo, and Bonbot in the distance. Dongi is actually going to get a full wipe onto Team Shero. Wow.
Team Vonbot is currently situated in 8th place, looking pretty comfortable at 74.6. Again, the cutoff in stage 1, by the way, in terms of point totals for top 15, was 76.8. No one inside of 7th and below are higher than that number right now. We're likely going to see a top 15. That cutoff is going to be closer to about 66.6, which is what EU was yesterday. So a little bit lower of a threshold. Still a lot of teams vying for that position. Like we said before, I think it's top 26 that probably have a chance at that.
Your 7th place team, Team Ebates, having some difficulty in the kill feed. Smixy popping off as well. Picnic, Nicole, Shadowwag making a rotation just north of Team Aydan. They're likely going to run into each other. This is going to be really detrimental so long as the player that's leading the charge will double down back and peep the zone pool goes. This is disgusting. Squad number 36, though, up in that northern area, the utmost northeast out of Al Mazrah. There's like a no-name POI up there. that has a buy station, it's not a bad place to get to and hold early. It just really depends on where that next pool is going to go. But for the teams that need to show out and get a lot of eliminations, making your way towards city, grabbing some high ground and just basically shooting fish in a barrel is probably your way to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say 36 was a great call out, but guess who was hunting them down? It was TBE. Team 2 that was up in the same area is probably gonna try to clear out that entire POI so they can hold the position instead. It's kind of the same mantra we had yesterday about the early bird getting the worm. 36 probably the bird, but second mouse gets the cheese. I think they might have been set, a trap has been set on them, and TBE is gonna spring that trap and then grab the cheese afterwards. We'll see if they're able to execute on their plan and maintain their first position. A couple of the squads, Donkey squad inside the top 10. Great tournament thus far. Young guns, chip on their shoulders, something to prove. Map 3 winners, doing well thus far in the final map of the day. Let's see Super Evan off into the distance. They need a big one. This might be the first time Super Evan doesn't get a free clear walk into the grand finals of a big tournament series in Warzone. One of the most winningest Warzone players in history. Hundreds of thousands of dollars earned. Really having a tough day today with Swagg and colors.
Yeah, but those tickets to London, everything is earned. You have to grind through the grueling world stage of Warzone qualifiers into the regional finals, into this. Find yourself in the top 15, and if not, go to the bloodbath of LCQ. I love that we were talking about Vonbot, Dongi, and co, because you know, they talked about how much this meant to them. It means the world. The World Series of Warzone is here to change lives. Put respect on players' names that you might not have heard before. TBE, you know, they're part of that old guard. They've been here since the dawn of time, since Verdansk, grinding throughout tournaments, raking up the earnings. But the new names, they're here to make a play. You said it's something to prove.
Well, TBE is going to try to wipe out 36 and 34. They want to hold this area of city. They'll have a complete dominating force as any other team rotates in. Be able to hold their high ground. Look how split they are right now. Tommy's all the way off into the other side. He actually lost noobs. Tommy's likely calling Almond back to heal to grab high ground. We'll see. Just looking for someone. This is going to be a little bit of a more sleepy game for TBE, but sometimes they like it like that. They're going to take the high ground position and take in-game. Especially, honestly, I think they're probably thinking, since it's going to be a city final circle, there's going to be a ton of teams left. Albeit it's, yes, map 6. Things are going a little bit crazy and wacky. We're into the third circle. We have 41 teams. This is not a replication of EU, and likely it's because of the circle. Saeed City can support nearly all 50 teams in some of the in circles. There's so many places to hide. So this is going to be a fun final circle, and I think there's going to be a lot of eliminations that will come to some of the teams that get there early.
Getting good overlook. Team Smixy at one point found themselves inside the top 3, now vying for a position inside the top 10. Regardless, so long as they qualify from London, that's all that matters here. You heard from Smixy, I just want to qualify, and Aydan really vying for a spot at the top of the leaderboard. They're looking for that $30,000 first place prize and crushing the hopes of squads in the process.
Smixy squad is a great position to hold Aydan's team as they rotate in. Doesn't look like anyone else is contesting flank and attract up top either, so it's really just Smixy squad versus Aydan squad on the low ground. They're going to likely just smoke their way into some cover and then rotate out. This is not a fight that's worth taking for them. Yes, this is a team kind of breathing down their necks to some degree. It doesn't matter. Adrian squad, they're trying to get inside the top 10 in this map. They're trying to lay down a ton of points. They're looking for 10 grand each. And Smixy's going to continue to rain hellfire down from distance. A great position for now, but the rest of the teams can just skate around through cover and move on to where they want to go. I don't think they're going to get a lot out of this.
Yeah, this is a cluster of buildings just kind of southeastern of Al Mazrah City, so maybe they'll stay on the outskirts to the eastern side of the highway and rotate north, climbing building to building, because you got little tidbit of high-rise there. All the streaks coming in, coming back to Indrid and co. Huskerrs and Rational and Scummin on the other side. This is going to be a big one, right? But these two teams are fighting for something completely different. Team Aydan looking for the top spot, and Team Huskerrs looking for just a spot to qual.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario for Team Huskerrs. Currently sitting at 26th overall. Top 15 make London. They need a massive game, and Team Aydan is harrying them. At the very least, even if Team Huskerrs wards off this attack, they're getting slowed down by Aydan's team. It does look like Huskerrs team's able to vacate the stronghold and move on. They've got everything they need, and they're not going to hang out here for too long. Shots from behind. Aydan squad doesn't care. Smoking it out and pushing to the next fight. E-Bait's team and T-Nex's squad driving straight at them on the train. This is a crucial fight, and Smixy's still getting picks from distance. They're making it difficult for Aydan squad. Now in trouble. Adrian last life. They all go down. That might be it. I don't know if they have Gulag or not, but Aydan squad might be out of it.
Why is it always Team Smixy coming in clutch when someone needs to evict Aydan out of the lobby?
Look, it's my fault. I said they were in a tough position. They were going to get a lot of picks, but some of these teams stayed here a bit longer than I thought they would. Aydan's team really wanted to hunt the edge of circle, and because they doubled back, Smixy's team was able to throw down fire from distance and grab a couple picks that allowed an opening for the other teams to finish them off. That was very well done and honestly poorly executed by Aydan squad. They knew Smixy's team was still up there, and they just didn't have enough smokes or not enough cover to make a move.
Soka on your screen right now, trying to hold out Breadman and co as they are on the lower level. Mayapo, though, wanting to push the issue towards them. Not bad. TBE, Noobs grabbing a vehicle, trying to reunite up with Almond and Tommy. Back over to Hisoka and co. Couple teams here looking to make a play in Said City.
This squad is 24 points behind TBE. Currently situated in third, TBE in first. They have a banger of a map here. They could take first place. They could win stage 2 after winning World Series of Warzone in 2022 with this exact same squad. They had a slow start, and I'm going to be honest, Tiff, this is a little bit reminiscent of Juki's yesterday. A 4-point game from Juki's first map. They come back and win stage 2. Ahsoka's team not in first going into the last map, but within striking distance and a decent start thus far. I think they've got about 6. Trying to hold down this position. They've lost Skullface, but should be a free res.
Bro, I said Said City, but we're in Al Mazrah City. My brain, bro, withstanding the mental of everything that our players are going through. We're on the journey with you guys, and now we got to stand tall here in high rise. Battle for where the Hummer spawns.
And this is the two contrasting areas of the city. Like you've got where Nick Cool squad is at, where there's 150 teams in that area, and then you've got TBE squad kind of holding that outside of city zone. They're hedging their bets yet again. This is the position they want. They feel like they can rotate into the core of Al Mazrah City if they need to, but they can hang out on the edge here and wait to see where the zone pulls. Because if it pulls to this side of things and they've cleared out their competition, this will be a free win.
All right, TBE, let's see the rotation going up, looking for a little bit of high ground. Good trophy system being down. That'll help against any of the lethals that decide to come their way. Meanwhile, Vombot and co going up against Nichols' team. That's going to be a big one, but Noobs peaks able to grab some damage. Plating up, you can see Tommy hanging in the back there with Almond as well, ready for the peak. Braxton, they're a bubble squad. They're going to have to go big here.
Braxton needs a win, and they're going to have to get a win against TBE if Almond tries to push. If I'm Braxton, I might just hold high ground. There's really not a reason to push here unless you don't have any LMs, which could be possible. I mean, they took the kind of highest route they could, likely wrapping to the northern side of city, which is where TBE is currently at. And if they don't have more than 5, 6, 7 LMs, they need to get a move on. It looks like Brax might be even sniping, so trying to grab a free pick on the rotation, maybe. We'll see. Zone does pull pretty much dead center of Al Mazrah City, a little bit off kilter, but a great spot for Joewo, Breadman, and Limax currently. A ton of teams can fit inside of high res and the rest of these buildings around. Braxton, TBE, they are going to have to rotate in. You can see Team 34 with UAVs, Magoo. They're going to have to rotate into the majority of the city. Doesn't look like anyone's really holding down the rooftops, though, Tiff, so these rotations, if they go early enough, should be okay.
I'm seeing a lot of bubble teams having some action here in the kill feed with Team Braxton finessing going down. A little bit of Vonbot action. Gonna have to play through this mid-game with ease. 31 squads up at almost 20 minutes in. TBE looking to get a full wipe on 34. They're kind of collapsing around them. Noobs peeking out for the window. I love the fact as he's moved on to the friend setup, relegated towards more of that anchor positioning. Not a bad choice here, but still with anchor for eliminations.
I'm looking at Classic Pain and Eno, Team 28. They're currently situated in 23rd, 8 points, 8 places rather, outside of top 15. And they've got a pretty solid position if they can hold it down. They could even potentially hold TBE depending on where the next zone goes, both technically inside the zone. I don't mind 28's position, but they have to get zone. There's a bit of a wager on the side of Zeptinko. They need it, and they need it bad. TBE will also benefit from it, and they're dropping Hellfire and Streets on top of Teenix. Good luck getting out of there, gentlemen. That's going to be a tough one.
Vonbot going down in the distance, as well as Nofo. They were inside the top 15, but will they have done enough to solidify that positioning? Attract as well. Smixy squad going under fire. You can see them just on the outskirts of Tommy Almond and Noobs as they're picking up everyone rotating in. All the teams that made the play for the outskirts of the city having to rotate in endgame are just getting eaten alive by the teams taking high ground.
Wow.
Distance, Zepti and Co. Smixy's team over there. Now, Tommy, they're going to have to rotate in as well.
Yeah, Tiff, the wager did not pay off. Now, TBE's fine with it. They said, hey, if it doesn't go our way, we're going to rotate and we're going to be okay. But the rest of these teams might have a little bit of a tough path because TBE goes early, smartly, likely will pick up UAVs on the rotate or a couple of these other squads. I shouted out Eno. They made a wager. They lost the wager. We'll see if they can maybe find some sort of a semblance of a pathway into city. We are deep into the central part of downtown. This is reminiscent to some Verdansk final circles. We got stairs. We got layer cakes. We've got 25 teams as the 6 circles about to start moving. This is what we want in the final map of stage 2 in a finals.
Your number 1 qualifiers, Team Solidify, have been eliminated. Squad 13 going out. That's going to be Team Sebas. Noobs on your screen made a great rotation. We just need to get to the underside of High Rise. Now, this is going to be a little tough, right? Because your likelihood of you running into a team, we already saw Hisuka grab the Hummer and rotate out. There were a couple loadouts there as well. E-Bates just north of this. JC Baby squad, they're going to be wiped. I don't know if they did enough to get themselves in the top 15, but it'll have to be close.
Team 10, though, look at where they're located. One flying. That's Sage, Shifty, and Biffle. They're inside of zone. The question is, are they comfortable inside of that spot? You can see Super Evan still alive and potentially barely breathing. I'd love to swap to that side of the circle and see what they're doing, holding down this next zone rotation. TBE has been on the move the entire time, yet no one has even kind of thwarted their advances. They're getting a free rotation to this next zone by taking the path underneath. This is chaos. There they are. Squad 16, observers on point, fighting for their lives. Swagg's on 5, Super Evan on 2. This could be a decent enough game to get them to the top 15, but they've got to either win it or get top 5, Tiff.
Yeah, they were outside the top 25 coming into map number 6, and it's going to have to be massive. We have 32 players, 16 teams as this circle is closing in 16 seconds. Everyone is still making their way in. You can see squad 11 on that lower, most southeastern side, but still staying on here. They're going to have to move just a little bit, but so far, so good.
Yeah, it looks like Soga Squad was just eliminated, by the way, inside the top 15. Will they make London? Absolutely. Will they make a ton of cash? Probably. Not enough for first place, though. Likely holding on to third. Where are the rest of these teams going to falter? TB certainly securing a victory here, putting everyone's wagers to good. Everyone thought they could win, and they're certainly going to do it. Will they win this gunfight, though? 1. Make it 2. Almond, Tommy working together as a unit. Noob still alive as well. They're staying patient inside this circle. Tiff, this is chaos, but TB is making it look easy as they win every single 1v1 and 2v2 that they can get their hands on. They are dominating this lobby. But my big question mark is, where are our bubble teams? Where is Swagg? Are they still in it? And if they are, what's going on? We've lost Doozy, but we're still in it, and it's about to be Swagg versus Biffle.
Team Huskerrs down and out. Biffle going down as well. Sage doubling back, looking for the res, but Super Evan has the gas mask, pushing the issue, trying to clean them up. Doesn't matter. They're going to be wiped. They were a bubble team. This was imperative for them, but they've made it into the top 6, top 5. Now we're still fighting forward. Swagg knows this needs to be a big game, but unfortunately going to fall. Super Evan has to clutch up here.
Evan goes big in the final moments. We'll find it. Evan's on 7. This could be enough to put them to London. A team inside of the deep 20s is making a run in the final seconds. Biffle might have done enough as well, but only time will tell. Gets the res, and it's Tommy trying to thwart their advances, but no. Colors pushes the equation. Confidence is key, and we're putting it on display. Colors and Super Evan could win it all right here.
Oh, but peep noobs. He's being a little fish, just hiding underneath the building, kind of where Team Smixy is. Dongi last alive on 10, has no shields, does have a gas mask on the ultimate high ground. It's going to be Team Smixy facing off against Z Colors first. It's going to be a tracked. Super Evan knows. Trying to push the issue. Looking for him. Colors down. We have to res. This needs to be the win. Noobs swimming it out. I love the positioning and playstyle for him. Mind you, they don't know who's up and who's alive, and they're vying to hold on to that first place position.
Tiff, it's a 2v1, TBE versus Color and Super Evan. Color's got a precision kill on Dongi. The final fight, 2v1, Super Evan, Colors take it. Swagg, Super Evan, Colors, they needed a big one. We called it out, and they got it. 20-plus kill victory at the final second to click their ticket, grab a plane flight to London. They're getting the Supermax. Get them on a private jet. That was a crazy finish to an already dynamic tournament.
Look, we knew you had to go big, and go big in map 6 they did. This is insane. So well played. Super Evan. We gotta watch the victory moment.
Stay on me, Trey, stay on me. On me, Trey, on me. You're good, we're good. Back up.
Careful, airstrike inbound.
Broken. I got you.
You got the kill.
I died. I got killed by that. That's 1v2, man.
1v2. Play up. Win this game.
Let's go.
Play up. Come on.
This is our fucking game.
Come to the right. With me.
We gotta find him.
You guys get smokes if you're a little weak.
He's running the outside.
It's Eddie.
To your right.
Close.
Let's fucking go, baby! Come the fuck on! Come on! Let's go! Turn me the fuck on! Let's go! Let's fucking go! Come on! Turn me the fuck on! Turn me the fuck on! Turn me the fuck on! Let's fucking go! Come on! Turn me the fuck on!
That right there is the celebration moment we will all remember. Was it for first place? No, but it was for a free ticket to London. The Global LAN final certainly secured with a massive victory tip. I think that was probably like the biggest game of the entire last couple days. I'm looking for probably